Hello, my name is Stacy Smith, and this is my final project. First, I would like to discuss my Enneagram, and that way you guys can get a better idea of who I am as a person. I am a type A, the supportive advisor. I feel that I have the ability to naturally recognize the needs of others. For as long as I can remember, I have always been interested in getting to know other people. When I'm with someone, I like to let them talk about themselves so I can learn more about them. I don't look to open up about myself as much unless someone else asks. I would rather listen and ask them questions to get to know them. At times, I can see that may seem overbearing and or a little nosy. I have always tried to be very supportive and encouraging to those around me. I have been told that I have a positive and friendly personality. Although I enjoy listening to others, I am also a social butterfly. At the workplace, I will be the one to say hi to each person I walk by and make statements to help someone feel good about themselves, like, I like your hair or your shirt. Due to the fact that I am more focused on others when I am around them, I can sometimes feel like people may not be as interested in me as I am them. I've noticed that if I am not included in certain social events or conversations, then my feelings can easily get hurt. Self-differentiation means to be able to separate our own self from that of others so we can maintain healthy relationships. This means to not let other people's behavior, opinions, and decisions affect how we feel ourselves. It means to be able to voice our own opinion and express our feelings to others, even though they may feel differently. We need to avoid getting caught up in the emotional aspect of other people's lives and not take it on ourselves. For me, I am a very empathetic person, and this is something that I certainly struggle with in my own life. Differentiation also means being careful not to bail someone out or to rescue them when they are not necessarily helping themselves out. Once they actually want the help and or realize that they need it, that's the best time to lend a helping hand. For me, this has probably been the hardest one to deal with. My mother had a gambling addiction for many years, and she came to me so many times to bail her out. Because I felt bad for her and was empathetic, she would use that to, in a way, manipulate me, and I would usually help her out. However, in the end, it was never really helping her because her behaviors and actions didn't change due to my help. It was just a Band-Aid on her problem for the time being. Having boundaries in our lives is very important. It helps to establish one's identity and be in control of our own life. Boundaries are there to protect you. They separate you from others and their influences. They define how affected and shaped you are by other people's emotions, beliefs, expectations, and opinions. So here's a picture of my boundaries map, which was already in our discussion post, but I thought I'd put it out here again. So as you can see, what the people I have in my circle are first and foremost positive people, and that includes my husband, children, family, God, and then I have co-workers, friends, and church family, but I have some next to those people. Reason being is because I also have some people outside my circle. There are certain people, coworkers at work. I have some really good friends at work that are coworkers. And then I have other coworkers who I still associate with, but I'm not necessarily close to them. So I keep them more outside my circle. And then the outside my circle, I have acquaintances and neighbors. Now, I know I put neighbors, and I do like all my neighbors, but I'm not super close to them, so they're not someone I would want right in my circle. Anxiety affects our thoughts, body, and behaviors. It is something that can be like a trickle-down effect. If the person or people around you seem anxious or nervous about something, it can easily have an effect on you as well. When a third party is brought into a conversation or situation between two anxious people, whether that be family, friends, or coworkers, that person has been brought into triangulation. They can sometimes be looked at like a middleman. At times, these triangles can be intentional, and other times they can be unintentional. So again, I know I had posted this in a discussion post earlier, but I thought I'd bring it up again. In my life, I have had the triangles between my mother, father, and stepmother. This has caused much anxiety in my life. Although they divorced when I was 10 years old, they have never gotten along, and I was the one who had to hear about it. The first triangle on the right contains my mother, father, and stepmother. My father had issues with my mother because she was manipulative and bossy, which caused issues with my stepmother, who would get upset with my father for how my mother acted. The second triangle I had was with my mother, father, and myself. I would be the mediator, listener for each of them to talk about the other. The last triangle is with my mother, stepmother, and myself. However, I'm wondering if the last triangle should actually be with my father, stepmother, and myself, because my stepmother would be upset with my father concerning my mother, and then my father would talk to me about it. When it comes to my personal development and growth, I have been working on my boundaries. I have been more upfront with both of my parents and not being a middleman. By doing this, it has caused my anxiety to decrease because I'm no longer feeling the pressure of trying to take both of their sides. Their issues are not mine and do not belong in my property. Also, I have been paying more attention to not rescuing or bailing people out right away when they are not necessarily helping themselves out. Instead, knowing that the best time to lend a helping hand is when they actually want the help, like I mentioned before, or realize they need it and are going to do something to change their behavior and actions. Using the results to play your strengths and work on improving your weaknesses can help grow you closer to God. For me, since I am a type 2, I can use my love of helping people in our church. I can do this by greeting people during services and helping out in the kids' ministry. One of my weaknesses is my need to feel needed, which can lead to insecurity. There are times in my life when I push God to the side because I'm trying to find my way by myself without involving Him. I have realized that although not everyone will always be there for me when I need them, He will be, and that's most important. God will love me no matter what, and His love never fails or runs dry. I can lean on Him by praying, reading scripture, and journaling. Thank you.